last night.
Whew, kept me up late.
10 innings, yeah?
Yeah.
They come from behind and end up beating the A's 12-11. I think their fourth straight win. So a good start for the Guardians. They will play tonight at 9:40, still on the West Coast, against the A's.
I've done a similar thing while beating that A.
You've done what?
Okay. No.
Come from behind?
While beating that A.
Nevertheless, 9:40 tonight is when your Cleveland Guardians will take the field here on MMS. Cavs play tonight as well. You'll hear them down the hall on WTAM 1100. And then this Friday, the Guardians come home for the opener here in Cleveland against the Seattle Mariners. We will be posted up live at Corner Bar inside Progressive Field. I will have Poundcake out somewhere with a couple of opening day tickets. Maybe you waited too long. Maybe it didn't occur to you. Maybe that you didn't know that you were able. I don't know. Maybe your situation has changed. And you go, well, now I can be downtown on Friday, but here I am ticketless. Whatever to do. Well, we'll have Poundcake down there. Now, how this will transpire, I haven't nailed that down yet. But, we'll be down there and ready to enjoy the day. I guess. I don't know, right? The home opener on Friday. UCONN wins the NCAA championship last night. Anybody have money on the University of Connecticut?
No.
Really? They knocked San Diego State off to bring home their fifth national title. They won 76-59. That is a pretty decisive victory last night.
Hurley and the Huskies have their dreams come true.
Oh, well, Hurley and the Huskies there for University of Connecticut, which is a big school. You know, you got about 18,000 undergrads there. It's a good school, UConn. And my school, we when I went to college, we had like fewer than 9,000 undergrads. So 18,000. I mean, it's not like, doesn't Ohio State have like 30,000 undergrads or something? Isn't it a massive school?
I think so.
It's like University of Illinois in Champaign. They have like 30,000 undergrads, a massive school. Of course, the fans there at the University of Connecticut kind of took a different tack than you see when a lot of college teams win. The students there, they reacted with restraint and decorum. And there was a lot of marching down the street in a single file line. There was a lot of, sure, there were some high fives and some mild backslapping. But, of course, I'm kidding. They were trying to battering ram buildings with lampposts that they had torn down. There with local news there to cover it and the whole bit. You seen any of this video? Yeah, look at this. Also, hey, let's get that battering ram and there we go. Put it through the doors
this is messed up.
A school building. They tore down a lamppost. What's the end game? I mean, there you go. They finally get the lamppost through the school and everyone's filming it. So you can easily identify the people who are. I never understand.
I don't get destroying things to celebrate.
I don't
know.
either. I mean, setting the couch on fire that's on your front porch. Maybe. I mean,
it's
again,
yours.
but you're also renting that house from a slumlord in the student ghetto there too. So
we didn't do that stuff to like celebrate.
You guys didn't win anything.
Well, we did win. No, our soccer team was really good, but Akron was just, there's a reason why they call it the
America's the only place where they don't have soccer riots. Like a basketball team, a football team, they'll be wilding in the streets. Soccer, this is the place where they don't go bananas over soccer like that.
Yeah, I think we were in the top 10 as far as soccer schools because we had like a lot of exchange students that would come to play for our school. But I mean, but I'm serious. Like the last, 2013 and 2014 were like the last 2 years that we had like huge, out of control parties. We ended up on like World Star Hip Hop because one year a couch was set on fire, and then the year after that, a car was turned upside down and then was torched. And then they brought in like not the SWAT team, but like whatever team it is that has like the shields. And
the SORT team, like they put into a prison riot.
Yeah, it was like the riot team. They came in their riot gear, and then they threw the what is it? The canteen full of gas.
Tear gas?
Tear gas. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. But yeah, they threw it, and everyone scattered.
He's like, what's the gas that makes you tear up? Oh God, I can't. I cannot think of what that's called.
It's called cry spray.
But yeah, I feel bad for these
Everybody
kids now.
get back or we will release the crying spray.
I feel bad for these kids now because I don't know if Akron has had parties like that since, because that was like...
You feel bad for who?
The kids that go to school there now, because I'm sure their parties are not like that anymore.
You feel bad that they don't have parties that destroy property? Is that what you're saying?
But that was one of the things that we did. It was actually fun. It was actually a party. Like the whole block, it was called Sherman Fest and Sumner Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole street of Sherman, the whole street of Sumner was the entire party. Every house there had a different party, and then people were like in the street, so you couldn't drive through it. So I don't know whose bright idea it was to park there, knowing that there was a party, but there was a car parked on the street, and people just got out of control and just like turned it over. And I felt so bad I think it was like a girl who had her car turned over, and I think the school chipped in, or not the school, but like the kids at the school chipped in to buy her a new car because it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, the cars. I mean, UConn's in the middle of nowhere. It's in a town called Storrs, Connecticut, and there's nothing going on there. You're too far from Hartford. You're too far from Providence. You're too far from the ocean. And you're just looking for whatever you can do to have a good time. And I guess that involves property damage after the NCAA championship. Again, you could almost kind of see it if UConn had never won anything. If they were like, they broke a 100-year streak of being, like how the Sacramento Kings were the longest running pro team with no postseason action at all. Sacramento Kings are in the postseason for the first time in who knows how long. UConn has won many, many times the NCAA championship. Now, these kids weren't going to school there when that happened, so they're like, this is our time to... But I never understand, first of all, you're tearing down city property, and then you're ramming it through school property. They also flipped a van and ran another lamppost through that van. Other fans climbing up. Now, obviously,
the one thing I'm going to give them,
and they're drunk too, so there's a lot of that.
I understand they're drunk.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm going to give them credit for, these are original ways of creating destruction. It's one thing to pull down a lamppost, but then be like, well, let's use it to break everything.
Yeah.
I gotta give them credit. It's pretty
I'm
funny.
holding it. I mean,
yeah. What do we do with the lamppost now? I don't know. Put it through some windows.
There was a fire that started in the middle of a street. At least half a dozen streetlights were torn up in this fashion, and several street signs were stolen.
The one thing.
So I always think of the townies who live in a college town. If you just are a resident of Storrs, Connecticut, and you're like, well, now I can't see anything, and I don't know where I'm going because there's no lampposts and the signs are gone because all the kids were running rampant. But there's no covert action at all. Everybody's on tape. Everybody's on video. Everybody's in frame. They got their shirts off. Frank, did you take part in the battering ram there at the Science Hall? Not me. Isn't this you holding the thing over your shoulder? I just never know what the end game is.
I'm pretty proud of Cleveland for not going crazy and ruining stuff and breaking stuff when the Cavs won the championship, because that could have gone.
We were close.
They
were standing. They were hanging from like
that was the
traffic
parade.
light.
That was the parade.
Yeah, but that's nothing. Hanging from a traffic
stuff
light. I mean, you might endanger yourself,
right?
But you're not trying to tear it.
But
out of the
everybody
ground.
was just. I mean, I was out there with everybody. It was just like good spirits. I was just dancing, high fiving, and driving around, honking their horns. It was a real fun celebratory night. Now at the parade, things got a little crazy. I think a couple people got shot. But you know what? For 1 million people being in town.
Yeah, 2 people got shot in 1 million people.
Yeah.
You got more than that on a regular day.
Right.
On a non-sports parade day, you'll have more than 2 people in Cleveland get shot. So, yeah, that's something. The headline, UConn campus gets medieval in wild championship celebrations. I love it. I love watching other people destroy property. It is hilarious. Because I don't have a dog in that fight. I don't go to University of Connecticut. I don't have a kid there. Huh?
If it was here, they're rooting around Bay Village.
Rooting around Bay Village. But it's not my property. I mean, if they destroy my property, obviously I'm going to be very, very distraught with that.
He's going to be out there with a tennis racket shooing them away.
I will have...
Beat it.
I will be out there with a leaf blower set on high.
Yeah. And a pickleball racket.
Pickleball. What am I, 80?
And I saw a pickleball rally that was intense. It was like the championships and just going around on TikTok or Instagram or something like that. But I was pretty impressed by the way these people could play plastic ball tennis.
It's so stupid.
Why is it stupid?
Yeah, and it's like already done. Like it was the big wave that kind of farted out. Everybody was talking about pickleball last year. And they're like, we're going to build pickleball courts everywhere. And then people were like, this kind of sucks. It's not fun.
I guess it's the fastest growing sport in America.
They say that, but I imagine that's the...
Because all the other sports are already grown.
That's the American Pickleball Association probably saying that.
Yeah, don't fall for that pickleball propaganda.
Yeah, don't listen to Big Pickle.
Yeah.
They're trying to get one over on you.
What we should be doing is developing new sports, though. We're due for like a new sport to like really take over everything.
Well, I think you need to do something that involves an implement other than a ball. That's the only way that you're going to get into new sports territory, right? Because everything involves a ball. They go, hey, we have a new way of hitting this thing. No, give me something, ultimate frisbee is lame. And I mean, but that's not real. That's been around long enough.
The thing is also
if you really want to develop a new sport, you got to get the pelotas out of it.
And you got to get some violence into it. I mean, they were trying it with the slap league. I don't think that's going to take off the way they wanted it to. But
these guys are like getting more CTE than retired football players. Let me give you this money here. As promised, by the way, the next few weeks, you got plenty of chances to win some money courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. It is $1,000. I hope it's got your name on it. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Grand. That's grand. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Oh, ain't life grand. There you go. Another chance for you to win some money coming up around 3:30. Mike, who checks in with us from the south coast of Ohio. Oh, he's on the move. What's going on, Mike?
Hola, Alan.
How are you?
Me gusta la show.
Thank you. What does me gusta mean?
I
like. Thank you very much.
No me gusta.
No,
me
I
gusta.
don't like the right. I hate the show, right? Yeah, okay. Or I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Yes, gotcha. Thank you.
Well, I'm sitting down here on a beautiful beach, my toes in the sand, drinking some Don Julio 70, and I thought I'd call in to add some color. I didn't want to interrupt the exciting pickleball rally description Bill was giving, but I did want to call in as an alumni of the Ohio State University who had been through many, I don't know what you'd call them, riots, maybe? Police
celebration.
I think of them as spirited street celebrations.
When it's college kids doing it, it's called a celebration. Mm-hmm. When it's black people, it's a riot.
There you go.
It's actually not the college kids, though. I think that's the point. It's everybody who comes down to party doesn't live there, because you live there. If you live in a house, you're not actually excited to take your couch out and burn it, right? That's everyone else who's out there stealing stuff from a party, getting rowdy, and causing all the ruckus. Generally, the college kids themselves are used to that. It's actually the party weekends that aren't big games are usually more fun for the college kids who live there than those big events, because it's just a lot of rowdy out-of-towners.
Mike, when you say that you've got your toes in the sand there on the south coast of Ohio, is that an Ohio River beachfront?
Something like that. Yes, I think they call it Porto Vallarta, Ohio.
Porto Vallarta? Is that what you're talking about?
Porto Vallarta.
Okay. Yes. All right.
It's
so
on
you're
the southwest coast of Ohio.
So you're vacationing on the Big Sandy River, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
the
I can.
one with all the chemicals from the trains.
Well, that's a little farther east, but yeah, I guess you're downriver, right? Boy, I can practically taste the Mai Tais, Mike.
Well, it's Don Julio margaritas on the rocks.
Oh,
but, you
yeah.
know, it's delicious.
At Don Julio, boy, he
It's
knows what's up.
delicious.
All right, listen, thank you. As always, I appreciate you checking in, Mike. Enjoy the rest of your Southern Ohio coast vacation.
Oh, I will. Thank you so much, Alan.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Mike should be doing tourism ads
Yeah.
for Southern Ohio there. Who knew there were beach vacations to be had? You know, you get down there around Coal Grove or Chesapeake, and boy, you could really be enjoying. You could be yelling across the river to West Virginians and saying, hey, what's up? Are you vacationing too on the north coast of West Virginia? And they'd say yes. And then you could have a larf over that.
Ray sent me, I think, a contender for the best new sport, and it's
Best new sport.
It's a game we've all played since we were little kids. but
Uh-huh.
Now they're just doing it competitively, where you got to keep the balloon from hitting the ground.
Oh, there you go.
Keep you uppy.
Keep it up.
Keep
yeah.
you uppy. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what they should call it.
That's what they call it on Bluey.
Yeah,
If your kid watches Bluey, it's called Keep You Uppy.
that's what they should call it at a national level,
Yeah.
or like an international level, because the match I'm watching here is between Peru and Albania.
Albania?
No,
Almania?
ALEMA.
I thought that was Yankovic's last tour.
right. Hey,
Almania?
Alemania,
Okay.
Alemian. I don't know.
How do you spell it?
Hold on.
Oh, Alemania. That's in
Alemania.
Germany.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's international.
Or that means Germany.
It means Germany. Why would-
Alemania is a
Deutschland.
Spanish word for Germany.
Okay,
in Germany, they call it Deutschland
Deutschland,
in
yeah.
German, but in Spanish, it's Alemania.
that's confusing.
Isn't it, though? And so is Keepy Uppy, because you're like, wow, can I,
Can I keep you uppy?
can I do that?
Should I putty downy?
Right. Everybody, it's the 45th annual Keepy Uppy tournaments. Today, Peru versus Germany. Well, listen, and a more stakes-free championship you'd be hard-pressed to find, because there's no violence. There's no, sometimes you'll see a dive for a balloon that might be hitting the ground. That's always fun if you make a dive.
And I like them jumping over all the furniture. Like, I like that they have the room
up
set
like
up
a living
like a
room.
living
Yeah.
room,
Mhm.
and then there's a car in there for some reason, probably because it was a sponsor. But it's
Well, you need a number of structures to bounce against
bounce
the.
off
Well,
of.
and lamps and stuff, because
Yeah,
you can't
there's
knock
lamps
that
in
stuff
there.
over.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
you gotta be
There's
careful around the
lamps.
TV.
Mm-hmm.
See, that I can get on board, because we play
And
a
the
lot of
judges-
Keepy Uppy at Casa Cox. So
And what they should do is not do it in an actual like arena set up like that. Do it in your parents' actual house.
it's called the Balloon World Cup. I'll show you some video here. The first Balloon World Cup's finale was in 2021, and
Born out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
sure. Let me get some video here for you. I don't know who won in 2021, but the Balloon World Cup couldn't have been more exciting. The childhood game of hitting a balloon in the air gets taken to a new level, and people from across the world compete. There probably is no barrier to entry for this either, right?
Yeah, I
you
think
don't
anybody
you don't
can.
have to be any kind of sports aficionado. Here's some video for you of these
Jan
people
Spieth,
playing.
que bien está manejando el asunto coche. El
There
peruano
you go. There's a
Francesco de la Cruz otra
Mentos
vez,
in
otra
there and a
vez.
video game. And
Punto de sorprender, le ha pillado. Le ha pillado.
Más para Perú. Uy, el animal.
that was in Tarragona, Spain in 2021, and that was Germany versus Peru. You know, when you click around ESPN, The Deuce, or any one of those side channels they have, they will televise any sporting event, and I got caught up in axe throwing.
Oh,
They had the national axe throwing. Now, fortunately, I tuned in with about 5 minutes left, because I can't imagine watching that for a full couple of hours or whatever it is. And the guys who have to call those games are fantastic because they're just making stuff up. It's
Yeah.
utterly ridiculous, and they're just but they have to really
You got to
lend
sell
it
it like it's.
they have to
got
lend
this
it the
rich history.
gravitas
Crazy
that it
exciting,
requires. Yeah. Oh, because at that point, both of these guys are really good. They spent a lot of time in bars throwing axes into wood. And so it's not like one guy's going to blow the other one away.
Dude.
They're both just draining bullseyes the whole time. And so it comes down to whatever your technicalities are in the world. And the spectators are like on makeshift bleachers. You know, it's not high. I think the top prize was probably
It's
like
like the
$5,000 or something.
Like the
but-
cornhole championships.
I was just gonna say
Yeah,
that. I was
because
like,
they're
it's
just
boring.
Yeah, they're just making
Because
everything.
almost every single throw is a wash. Every
Yeah.
single time they're either getting the same or 1 point or whatever.
There's money to be made
What
on
they
the
should have to
professional
do-
cornhole circuit, though.
Right, but what they should have to do to make the axe throwing more interesting is also keep a balloon in the air.
With the X. The
Without
butt end
popping
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The first annual Cornhole Kippy Uppy Tournament is happening right now. Hey, Mike. Whoop, hold on. Let me go to Mike in Canton. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Alan, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up?
You were talking about the Ohio-West Virginia border. I got a little joke. It's an old joke, but
Oh, boy.
I'll be quick. Two guys, Ohio, West Virginia, they're down on the river fishing. And the Ohio guy's drinking coffee out of his thermos. The West Virginia guy hauled over and says, "What is that?" Ohio guy says, "It's a thermos." West Virginia guy says, "What the heck's a thermos?" He goes, "Well, it keeps hot things hot and it keeps cold things cold." So the West Virginia guy says, "Well, I'm going to have to get me one of their thermoses." So next day, they're down on the river fishing. West Virginia hollers over to Ohioan and says, "Hey, I got me one of them there thermoses." Ohioan says, "Yeah, very good for you." He goes, "What do you got in it?" 2 cups of coffee and a popsicle.
What I love about that is West Virginians are telling the exact same joke, just with the states transposed, where the Ohioan is the dummy in the thing, you know.